and McClelland and Stewart, copyright 2004, by Peter Robinson. Chapter 1. Banks pulled up outside his parents' council house and parked his Renault by the side of the road. He wondered if it would be safe left out overnight. The estate had a bad reputation, even when he grew up there in the 60s, and it had only gotten worse over recent years. Not that there was any alternative, he realized, as he made sure it was locked and the security system was working. His parents didn't own a garage. He couldn't very well remove the CD player for the weekend, but to be on the safe side, he stuffed the CDs themselves into his overnight bag. He didn't think any young joyriders would want to steal Thelonious Monk, Cecilia Bartoli, or the Grateful Dead, but you couldn't be too careful. Besides, he had a portable disc player now, and he liked to listen to music in bed as he drifted off to sleep. Banks's parents' house stood near the western edge of the estate, close to the arterial road, across from an abandoned factory and a row of shops. Banks paused for a moment and took in the red brick terrace houses, rows of 5, each with a little garden, low wall and privet hedge. His family had moved here from the tiny, grim back-to-back when he was 12, when the houses were new. It was a Friday afternoon near the end of October, and Banks was home for the weekend for his parents' golden wedding anniversary that Sunday, only his second overnight stay since he had left home at the age of 18 to study business at London Polytechnic. When that didn't work out, and when the 60s lost their allure in the early 70s, he joined the police. Since then, long hours, hard work, and his parents' overt disapproval of his career choice had kept him away. Visiting home was always a bit of a trial, but they were his mother and father, Banks reminded himself. He owed them more than he could ever repay. He had certainly neglected them over the years, and he knew they loved him in their way. They weren't getting any younger either. He took a deep breath, opened the gate, walked up the path and knocked at the scratched red door, a little surprised by the loud music coming from the next house. He saw his mother approach through the frosted glass pane. She opened the door, rubbed her hands together as if drying them, and said, "Alan, lovely to see you. Come on in, love, come in." Banks dropped his overnight bag in the hall and followed his mother through to the living room. It stretched from the front of the house to the back, and the back area, next to the kitchen, was permanently laid out as a dining room. The wallpaper was a wispy brown autumn leaves pattern, the 3-piece suite, a matching brown velveteen, and a sentimental autumn landscape hung over the electric fire. His father was sitting in his usual armchair, the one with the best straight-on view of the television. He didn't get up, just grunted. "Son, nice of you to come." "Hello, Dad. How are you doing?"
"Mustn't complain."
Arthur Banks had been suffering from mild angina for years, ever since he'd been made redundant from the sheet metal factory, and it seemed to get neither better nor worse as the years went on. He took pills for the pain and didn't even need an inhaler. Other than that, and the damage booze and fags had wreaked on his liver and lungs over the years, he had always been fit as a fiddle. Hollow-chested and skinny, he still sported a head of thick dark hair with hardly a trace of grey. He wore it slicked back with lashings of Brill cream. Banks's mother, Ida, plump and nervy, fussed a little more about how thin Banks was looking. Then the kitchen door opened and a stranger walked into the room. "Kettle's on, Mrs. B. Now, who have we got here? Let me guess."
"This is our son, Jeff. We told you he was coming. For the party, like."
"So this is the lad who's done so well for himself, is it? The Porsche and the Mews house in South Kensington?"
"No, that's the other one, Roy. He's not coming till Sunday afternoon. He's got important business. No, this is our eldest, Alan. I'm sure I told you about him. The one in that picture."
The photograph she pointed to, half hidden by a pile of women's magazines on one of the cabinet shelves, showed Banks at age 16, when he captained the school rugby team for a season. There he stood in his purple and yellow strip, holding the ball, looking proud. It was the only photograph of him they had ever put on display.
"This is Jeff Salisbury,"
said Ida Banks.
"Jeff lives up the street at number 55.
Jeff moved forward, hands stretched out like a weapon. He was a small, compact man, with lively, slightly watery eyes and cropped grey hair, about Banks's age. His smile revealed what looked to Banks like a set of perfect false teeth. His handshake was firm, and his hands were calloused and ingrained.